Resuming the debate, the honourable member for Calgary Mid-Nipur.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I very much appreciate the opportunity today to rise in this chamber and speak to this private member's bill of my colleague, the Member of Parliament for Lethbridge. And I want to reiterate something that my colleague previously said, I should say the honourable member for Calgary Shepherd, and that is that I do believe here that the intention of the member for Lethbridge is to help Canadians to get ahead and to help Canadians to stay ahead, something that we have not seen the government of the day assist in doing, and that is helping Canadians to get ahead and to stay ahead. So for that, I'm very proud to stand today and to support this piece of legislation. Because, Madam Speaker, unfortunately, not every Canadian has a trust fund like the Prime Minister, and the majority of Canadians, in fact, the majority of constituents in Calgary Mid-Nipur do not have these types of trust funds, and as a result, they must rely on their own resources, their own family decision-making in an effort to manage their finances, because they simply do not have the resources that this Prime Minister has to lean back upon. And with that, Madam Speaker, I would continue that life is becoming less and less affordable for Canadians. And I certainly, as a mother, can say this. When I go grocery shopping, I can't believe the increase in payment for groceries that I'm seeing. Mortgages, of course, are getting more and more difficult to obtain with the recent stress tests that we've seen, particularly in Calgary, a place where the market is not defined the same as within larger cities. Gas certainly has just hit record prices in the last 3-4 years, as well as that would include home heating. And I'll take this moment to say I very much support the initiative of our leader in making home heating more affordable for Canadians. So families like mine sit around the dinner table making difficult decisions. Will they be able to enroll their son or daughter in gymnastics? Will they be able to enroll their son or daughter in hockey? Is there enough money to have meat every day of the week? Probably not. And that is because this Liberal government is not helping in making life more affordable for Canadians. And I would also include with that, Madam Speaker, the carbon tax. The carbon tax, which we are seeing many provinces across the country refuting. Saskatchewan, of course, where my father is from, Manitoba, as well as Ontario is refuting this carbon tax. And God willing, Madam Speaker, I hope that we have a new United Conservative Party government in Alberta on Tuesday with the previous member of Calgary Mid-Nipur, whose footsteps I'm so proud to follow in.
That's right.
So, definitely, Madam Speaker, Canadians do not want a life that is more expensive. They want a life that is aspirational and attainable. And what they really want, Madam Speaker, is fairness and is transparency. And might I add, Madam Speaker, that's not that we're seeing this at all recently from the government of the day as well. But I will say that this Credit Card Fairness Act does promote these principles, and I will review them once again, Madam Speaker. So, the Credit Card Fairness Act will mandate that if a cardholder pays more than 95% of the outstanding balance before the payment due date, the bank cannot change interest on the amount paid on or before the due date. The bank can only charge interest on the amount outstanding after the due date. Number 2, will ensure that payments made by credit card holders are applied to balances with the highest interest rate first before being applied to balances at a lower interest rate. Number 3, it will require banks to disclose on the monthly statement how much interest the cardholder has paid in the previous 12 months. Number 4, it will require that marketing materials prominently communicate the annual fee, annual interest rate, and the period of time until the introductory rate ends, along with the interest rates that will apply following that period. Number 5, it will prohibit banks from increasing interest rates retroactively on the cardholder's outstanding balance owing. Number 6, it will require banks to provide an online mechanism for consumers to cancel cancel their credit cards and or decrease their credit limit. As my colleague, the Honourable Member for Calgary-Shepherd mentioned, it is not uncommon to receive a notice in the mail that you have the opportunity or in fact your credit limit has been increased. And number 7, legislate that banks must obtain consent before increasing a card holder's credit limit. So as I said, this is something definitely that promotes just better financial management for families across Canada. Because, Madam Speaker, families need to have full information when making financial decisions for their families. You know, I need not remind you, Madam Speaker, that household debt at present is 170% of disposable income. That means that most Canadians owe $1.70 for every dollar after tax earnings, for a total of $1.83 trillion, Madam Speaker, of household debt. Incredible, or an average of $22,800 per Canadian. So I really believe that the member from Lethbridge is making this sincere and humble attempt to help families across Canada as they face these difficult decisions, as they face this financial crisis, as I said, which is not being assisted by the government of the day as they make their financial decisions. And, you know, every family in Canada goes through the process of making these decisions. Home renovations, I know many homes in Calgary come with undeveloped basements. You know, this is a significant investment if a family decides that they are going to renovate their home. A new car, Madam Speaker, is another significant investment. Vacations certainly these are all difficult decisions that Canadian families have to make relative to their finances. And, Madam Speaker, the Member of Parliament for Lethbridge is just trying to help these families, manage their finances. And with that, Madam Speaker, I'll also mention what a fan I am of just financial literacy for Canadians. I want to recognize a special constituent of mine, Shamez Kassem. He is a financial planner within my riding. He has an annual financial planning summit for women, which twice now I've been the keynote speaker. And so, you know what? That's another reason that I support this piece of legislation, Madam Speaker, is that I believe in financial literacy for women, because women, wives, mothers are a major part of running finances within a family. So I definitely believe that the member from Lethbridge is helping families in having this legislation. And of course, Madam Speaker, we all know that you need a credit card to do anything and everything in this day and age. Booking a hotel, booking a flight, going on vacation. In fact, today I used my credit card in an effort to make a payment for my son's birthday party. We're going to a Roughnecks game. I'm really looking forward to that here at the end of April. My newspaper, which I am very proud to receive, I receive every day on my front porch. I look forward to that. My horoscope and also the news, the Calgary Sun. This goes on my credit card. So again, I really applaud the honourable member from Lethbridge for putting forward this legislation. Now, as my other colleague, Aurora Oakridge's Richmond Hill, the member there, did point out, previously the government had the position, the Minister of Consumer and Corporate Affairs, and unfortunately under the government of Monsieur Chrétien, the Liberal government, that position was eliminated. Oh. So in the absence of these previous checks and balances that we had, you know, we need to give Canadian families the power to have more knowledge, to have more information when making these complicated financial decisions, because as I stated, we want to help Canadians to get ahead and to stay ahead, Madam Speaker. And as I mentioned previously, this Liberal government is not helping. We have the 4th consecutive deficit budget adding to the debt. My son, Madam Speaker, at this point will be 32 years old when the deficit is balanced. Absolutely terrible. I have said if financial planners need a new product, it should be the RDSP, the Registered Debt Savings Plan, so that all youth will have the money to pay off their debt eventually. So you know what? I hope here that the government will do the right thing. We are an aspirational nation. We are, on this side of the House, a party that wants Canadians to live their dreams. race that happens by having more information, more control over your finances. I am urging the government to vote for this bill that will help Canadians to get ahead and to stay ahead, Madam Speaker. It's the right thing to do.
My God, that was very good.